Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into something absolutely game-changing. We are taking generative AI from a basic everyday text tool and turning it into an absolute master educator. If you've ever felt like your AI outputs are just kind of generic or missing that deep educational value, you're exactly where you need to be. We're breaking down the precise strategies you need to generate highly customized, culturally rich, and completely accurate educational content using AI.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to think of AI not as a magic wand, but as a highly skilled, incredibly fast chef. This chef knows literally every cooking technique in the world. But there's a catch. They have zero taste buds and they have no idea what you actually want to eat. Prompt engineering is exactly like giving that chef a precise recipe. If you walk into a kitchen and just yell, "Make me dinner," you might get a bowl of plain rice, or you could get a 5-tier wedding cake. You have absolutely no control. To avoid a terrible dish, you have to be incredibly specific about your ingredients, your instructions, and your expectations.
Here's the agenda for our masterclass today. We'll cover 1. The perfect AI prompt. 2. Advanced prompting techniques. 3. Crafting cultural content. 4. The AI quality rubric. 5. Mastering multimodal AI. And 6. Overcoming generative limits. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The perfect AI prompt. To cook a masterpiece, we've got to start with the foundational ingredients. And this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast between just hoping for a good result and actually engineering one. Notice the zero-effort prompt here. Tell me about Korean culture. It's vague, right? The AI is just going to spit out a generic Wikipedia-style summary. But contrast that with the engineered prompt. Here, we assign the AI a role as an expert. We give it a specific topic, Hangul Day. We define the target audience as intermediate foreigners, set a strict word limit, and demand both historical facts and current customs. The difference in the final output here is literally night and day. That good prompt didn't just happen by accident. It was built using the 4 pillars of a prompt. These are the essential ingredients of your AI recipe. First, role setup. You have to define the AI's expertise. Second, clear instruction. What exactly is the specific task? Third, context. Give it background info, the target audience, and any constraints. And fourth, output format. Do you want a 500-word essay, a bulleted list, or a quiz? Include these 4 pillars every single time, and you guarantee the output is exactly the shape and flavor you need. Section 2. Advanced prompting techniques. Now that we have the basic recipe, it's time to turn up the heat. Our first advanced technique is few-shot prompting. Giving the AI instructions without any examples is called a zero-shot prompt. It works okay for basic stuff, but when we're dealing with culturally specific educational materials, we need serious nuance. Few-shot prompting means you provide the AI with 2 or 3 specific examples of what a correct output actually looks like right inside your prompt. Showing the AI a few examples is hands down the fastest way to align its output with your specific educational standards.
Next up is chain of thought. It's wildly simple but incredibly effective. You literally just add the phrase, "think step by step" to your prompt. That's it. Doing this forces the AI to show its reasoning process before giving you the final answer. If you're asking it to generate a culturally authentic 3-day Seoul itinerary for a tourist, having it show its work step by step drastically reduces logical errors and makes sure the travel times and cultural contexts actually make sense together.
Now, what's really interesting about this number, 0.3, is what it represents. In AI models, there's a setting called temperature that controls creativity, usually on a scale from 0 to 1. High temperature, like 0.8, is great for wild brainstorming, but it makes the AI completely unpredictable. For cultural education, factual accuracy is completely non-negotiable. Setting a low heat, specifically around 0.3 to 0.5, ensures your AI remains factual, consistent, and totally reliable. Section 3. Crafting cultural content. Let's actually put these techniques to work in a specific application.
When designing prompts for cultural education, we aren't just delivering basic, flat facts. We want layered, nuanced educational experiences. Effective K-culture content connects 3 vital layers: historical depth, modern innovation, and global impact. So if your prompt is about K-pop, don't just ask for a list of bands. Instruct the AI to link the music to Korea's digital media landscape and its role in global soft power.
We do have to be incredibly careful, though. AI can be pretty clumsy with culture. If your prompt isn't tightly controlled, the AI can hallucinate. It might resort to overgeneralizations, like saying Koreans eat kimchi every day, or oversimplifications, like claiming hanbok is the only traditional clothing. These errors can easily misinform learners or even offend. You have to actively instruct the AI within your prompt to capture diversity and avoid stereotypes. Because of those risks, human oversight is absolutely crucial.
You should always use a verification checklist for culturally sensitive topics. Let's say the AI generates a lesson on Solel, the Lunar New Year. Your checklist needs to verify, did it explicitly mention the lunar calendar date? Did it accurately explain sebe, the traditional bowing? Did it explain the meaning behind eating tukakuk soup? Did it balance modern versus traditional customs? Never just trust the output. Always verify.
Section 4. The AI Quality Rubric. How do we systematically, objectively taste test the AI's final dish?
So the crucial point here is having a mathematical, objective way to evaluate. This specific framework breaks it down perfectly. A massive 40% of the grade is cultural and factual accuracy, 30% is educational effect, 20% is learner fit, meaning is the language appropriate for the student's level, and only 10% is creativity and novelty. In education, accuracy and structure heavily outweigh the AI's ability to just be creative.
When you're developing content with a team, reviewing each other's AI materials is vital. We recommend a 3-step peer feedback framework. Step 1 is observation. Point out something specific, like appropriate formal language was used here. Step 2 is impact. This helps the learner understand official settings. And step 3 is suggestion. Maybe prompt the AI to include informal examples next time for contrast. It's a perfectly structured way to evaluate and improve collaboratively.
Section 5. Mastering Multimodal AI. Now it's time to plate the dish by moving beyond just text and bringing in visuals. Let's move on and see how this builds into a complete multimodal workflow for creating a cultural explanation card. Step 1, we use GPT-4 to generate a clear text explanation of the traditional game Ute Nori. Step 2, we don't even write the image prompt ourselves. We ask the AI to read its own explanation and write an educational infographic prompt based on that text. Step 3, we feed that optimized prompt into DALL-E 3 to create a bright, friendly, accurate visual. We literally let the AI design the visual based on the text it just wrote.
Section 6. Overcoming generative limits. Because, as amazing as this all is, even the best chefs make mistakes.
Generative AI absolutely has built-in flaws, but we have specific human strategies to mitigate them. When AI hits the limitation of hallucination, making up false facts, our strategy is to explicitly demand sources in the prompt and build double-check systems. When it shows cultural bias due to skewed training data, we explicitly instruct it to include diverse perspectives and highlight regional differences rather than just accepting a monolithic view. We compensate for the AI's weaknesses with our own structural intelligence.
This leads us to a vital philosophical conclusion straight from our source material. AI is a powerful tool, but ultimately, human educators' expertise and judgment are the most important elements. Prompt engineering doesn't replace you. It turns the AI into a brilliant, tireless assistant. But that assistant will never possess human sensitivity or true educational judgment. You are the master chef, the AI is just working the stove.
Which leaves us with this final thought. You now know the 4 pillars of a perfect prompt. You know how to control the temperature, use few-shot examples, and verify cultural accuracy. If AI is the chef and you are the master recipe creator, what culturally rich, highly accurate dish will you cook up next? The kitchen is open, and it's time to start experimenting. Thanks for tuning into this explainer today, and we'll catch you next time.